Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engineers. A bit of a different one for you today. Today we're going to be having a little bit of a look at the usefulness of the interior turret on the exterior of ships now. So basically what I mean by that is they've done a bit of a rebalance with the Warfare update in terms of turret damage and buffing, like armour blocks and such. So the turrets overall do a lot less damage than they used to do. You've probably noticed if you've been in combat, fighters, or you've just been trying to shoot stuff, that you're doing a lot less damage in general with your turrets. So we're going to have a look at the viability of having these on the exterior of ships, because corvettes and gunships, these used to be good turrets to defend against fighters. They used to be very good at quickly sorting them out. They were cheap to make. You can load the regular ammo into them, and they're pretty sneaky with turning. And they only take up one block. They don't require conveying, so they're very easy to just slap around a ship. But we're gonna have a look at how badly they've been hit with these changes. So here's an interior turret. As you can see, it takes up just one block. We can control it here. We can obviously fire it. Go into the G menu here. We can see they have a maximum range of 600 meters. Now, that has changed, but I'd say for dealing with fighters and stuff, that's not really the issue. I mean, 600 meters is probably when you want to be engaging fighters anyway. Anything beyond that, and you're probably just wasting your ammo. And then we have the Contender now, which is the gatling turret. So this takes up 27 blocks compared to the interior turret, which takes up 1. It's a lot more expensive to make, and it does need conveying. I mean, you can not conveyor it, but it has the option to be conveyed. I would recommend conveying it though, because it hasn't got that much storage. It has a maximum range of 800 meters. Here's the components required. So obviously you're going to need metal grids, quite a lot of other things. I believe that was the small grid gap. No, okay. Compared to the interior turret, which doesn't need metal grids. So you don't actually need cobalt to make the interior turret, which is kind of important, I guess, for very early game, but not massively. Also, quality of life with the conveying. You don't have to fly around a ship and make sure you got ammo in all the interior turrets. So then the final thing is, this is obviously a much higher caliber than the interior turret, so when this does hit its target, it's going to hit a lot harder, and they have upped the firing rate now. So yeah, so let's give them a little bit of a go here. We have some targets, as I'm sure you've noticed. We've got 4 mini merchants here, and we've got 2 corvettes here, so we're going to give them a little bit of a spray down and just see what the damage is like. So we're going to park a merchant around about here. So we have got some armour paneling on the side there, just a little bit of light armour there. So we're going to give it a quick burst, quick spray, and we'll see how it goes. So just going to move it forward a little bit. So this is basically as if you were, I don't know, getting strafed by a fighter and you just managed to get one burst of bullets off. Let's have a little bit of a look at how much damage that'd do. I can't see any damage. Right off the bat, let's have a little bit of a look here. I literally can't see any damage. Okay, so the connector's taken 2% damage, but it hasn't lost any components. These have definitely been hit. Not lost any components though. And that's just from one burst. Interesting, okay. So we'll focus our fire a little bit more now. Let's focus on the cockpit. Let's shoot for, I don't know, 3 seconds, should we say? Roughly 3 seconds. No, it's not exactly, but let's have a little bit of a look. So yeah, we've done about 24% damage. We've got rid of some components, but the bulletproof glass has actually done its job. And I'd say that was a pretty long burst, and it hasn't taken it out. Interesting. So let's hit some armor panels now. So these are the light half armor panels. And that did destroy it, so a few rounds of that will destroy it. Let's have a little bit of a poke at maybe a thruster. So it does take quite a bit of shooting to actually take the thruster out. With the connector spray. And that's down. So overall, I mean, they're still pretty effective, but if you're actually trying to knock something out of the sky, I mean, this is a mini merchant, right? This is a merchant ship. And you are never ever going to get this long to shoot at a ship. And it still hasn't knocked it out. And that was like a perfect scenario where it's not moving, you know, nothing like that, and it hasn't taken it out. Taken out some lateral thrust, but that can always be compensated for by doing a little bit of a spin. So let's drop this one here. So that's taken a lot of punishment, and really there's not a whole lot of damage, to be honest. That wouldn't take very long to fix. So let's give the gatling gun a go. We're going to pop it right here. Same sort of angle like this. We're just going to give it a quick burst over first. See what the damage is. Quick little spray. Let's have a look here. So straight away, obviously it's more deformed, but we haven't lost any components. That's down to 10%. Let's have a look here. That's lost some components there. These are all quite damaged. Overall, we did hit the armour mostly. That's lost a few components, and then some bulletproof glass as well. I think we need to turn the ship a little bit more, actually. Side on. So let's try and shoot the cockpit like we did with the interior turret. I think that was roughly 3 seconds, and the cockpit is actually steaming, and we've lost almost all of the components. Now let's try and actually take it down and see if we can take it down. So roughly the same amount of shooting as the interior turret, and we didn't take it down, but we have done a whole lot more damage than the other one. Oh, I can't actually get in the cockpit. Let me pull it down here. So you can see the difference there. This one's had an encounter with an interior turret, and this one's had an encounter with a gatling turret. Yeah. So let's pull the corvettes in. We're going to actually head in through the back. So small grids, I'd still say they're relatively effective, but you don't want to really be relying on them, because if anyone's got a heavy armoured fighter, like that's just a merchant ship, but if they've got heavy armour, it'll be a very different story. So let's target just a regular steel block, and let's just lay into it for a little bit here. So that was a good few seconds of shooting there. Let's have a little bit of a look. So we have almost taken it out, to be fair, but not quite, and that was, you know, quite a long time. And that's just a regular steel block, light armour block. Let's give this a go. Let's find a regular block. That'll do. Probably less time, and the block's actually been destroyed there, so Gatling turret's definitely more effective at dealing with them. Let's try to take out some guns here. So if we aim for this turret, we'll do 3 seconds, and then we'll aim for the other turret, 3 seconds. Let's Let's go compare the damage. So we did 8 steel plates damage, about 14%. This one we did 23 steel plates damage, did about 39%. So that's the difference in damage there. Let's see how much extra time they need to destroy the gat completely. I literally couldn't see. That was 10 seconds of firing there. Nope. And that was about 2 seconds to destroy that gat. Yeah. And it still did more damage. So yeah, there you go. Definitely more effective. Let's try see about penetration here. So if we shoot this, a half light armour panel, have we gone through at all? Okay, I don't think we have. Let's see if the gatling gun has penetration. Oh shit, I accidentally destroyed it. I don't think it does. I'll have to try a different block here. Don't destroy it. Okay, so no pen. Interesting. So that's probably just the larger caliber cannons and stuff like that that actually do penetration damage here. And finally, let's try thrusters. So let's shoot the thrusters for a bit, see how long it takes to knock them out. Shoot this one on the left here. It's about 7-8 seconds. It's worth noting that controlling those just blinds your eyes. Oh my god. So that was about 3-4 seconds. So about half the time to shoot off the thruster, and it has taken more components. So an extra 4 steel tubes and extra 2 grids. So that's very interesting. I mean, that's pretty much what I thought it would be, to be honest. You know, that's how I thought it would go. But, you know. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to fly some stuff past. Turn these turrets off real quick. We're going to fly some ships past and see how they do. In terms of, you know, how quickly they can take them out. So, pretty simple. Set their range to 150. There we go. And we'll do the interior turret first. Obviously we want this to be fair as well. So we're going to breeze past at, we'll say 100 meters per second, okay? And hang on. We'll create a group here and we'll duplicate it. So this is like a fighter that's quickly sort of strafing your base, and then we'll just see how much damage it does. Oh, I haven't. Hang on. Right. And then we're just going to floor it. There we go. Okay. Come to a stop. And then we'll land it here. Right, let's go grab the other one. Overall, I don't think that did that much damage, really. But let's see. Very small window to actually hit the ship. But that's the thing, I mean, if you're getting strafed by fighters, you want them to quickly snap onto the target, and you want them to quickly, you know, deal with them as fast as possible. Here we go. So for some reason the Gatling turret paused there, I don't know why, but I still think it's done considerably more damage. Let's have a little bit of a look here. How's that thruster firing? What? Okay. I've got a wireless hydrogen thruster now, apparently. Alright. So, here's the interior turret one. We have taken some armour damage here. Some component damage as well. But mostly just hitting the light armour there on the left, starboard side. And then here's the Gatling turret. We've got a missing pipe here. Thruster's taken damage. Got component damage on there as well. And then some more component damage on the back too. Okay, so we'll fly back. We'll fly back across, and this time we'll do a fixed speed. So we'll do, I don't know, 50 meters per second I'll try and get to, and then we'll just hold it. So Gatling turret first, and we'll continue from here. So we're going 50 meters per second. I'll just get a bit closer. We'll say this tree is like the marker. Pretty sure it's reloading, that's why. Try that again when it isn't reloading. Alright. I don't got any stopping thrust. And let's land it nicely. Well, as nice as we can. We need to go turn off this. So yeah, the reload was what the pause was earlier as well. Let's make sure this doesn't need to reload. I guess it reloads straight away, actually. Double check. Off. On. And I know we had 2 passes with the Gatling turret, but I'm just going to do one slower pass. Do 40 meters per second instead, because the interior turret doesn't need to reload, obviously. That tree is our sort of guideline. Go 37 here. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, nice. Let's head back over here. Let's have a little bit of a look. So, straight away, everything's still working on this one. I can still, you know, I've still got all my thrusters. I've still... What? Is there actually no blocks there? Huh. Well, I'll still have this one anyway, so I would still have reverse thrust. Overall, I mean, really, considering how much time they had to shoot us, it's not done that much damage. But the Gatling turret, on the other hand, has absolutely minced this this merchant here. So it's disabled the rear thrust. It's almost blown up that cargo container there. It's done some damage to the hydrogen tank. We've lost all of these thrusters here because the piping's gone. Obviously it's stripped like all of the armour off this side here. Something steaming over here as well. It's probably a conveyor, yeah. And it's done some. It's almost disabled this cargo container as well. So overall, it's definitely done some more damage. And I know which one I would prefer to defend my base. But does it offset the cost? That's the thing you got to remember, because the ammo is more expensive. It takes up more room. But I'd say if you can, definitely go with gatling turrets instead of interior turrets. I feel like interior turrets are quite difficult to set up. You've got to go around and feed them ammo manually, as well as just actually checking which ones have ammo or not. Gatlings are much simpler. You just convey them up, put ammo in the storage box, and then obviously they do the rest for you. And they're going to do a lot more damage. They're going to put a lot more people off, and especially for the large grid ship, it can probably destroy double the amount of thrusters, because the interior turret takes double the amount of time to actually knock a thruster out or a gatling turret out. And really, I don't know if you can put a price on defending your base or your ship, because that has your stuff in it. So it's probably best to go with gatling turrets. I'd say interior turrets definitely have their place. They may be useful in deterring fighters and hitting missiles and hydromen, etc. But gatling turrets definitely look like the way to go now. But beyond that, and just looking at damage in general, I mean, before this update, I believe both of these would probably have been toast. Flying in front of a turret for that long, I feel like both of these would... Maybe the interior turret wouldn't have quite disabled the merchant, but the gatling turret definitely would have completely axed this. There would be nothing left of this by now. So that just shows you how much they've changed the combat dynamic with these balance changes, which I think overall is good. It's definitely very good to extend combat time. I think that's something we really did need, and it's something that will make the game a little bit more forgiving for accidentally straying into turret range, or it just makes fights a little bit better, because you don't get into a fight and then immediately all your thrusters are out and your turrets are out like last time. It makes small grids more viable. For instance, fighters are definitely a bigger threat now, especially heavy armour. And yeah, that was just a quick video, guys. Just wanted to do a little bit of testing with you, a little bit less formal than my typical video style. Hopefully you enjoyed though. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe to support the channel, and as always, take care, everybody.